America is a very diverse place. There are more than 7 major races in America. But which state has the most African Americans as a percent? Here's the rest of the top 10 states by percentage of African Americans for 2022. 1. Mississippi. Yep, in Mississippi, 37.5% of residents are black, which is 3.11% higher than it was 10 years ago. There are nearly 400 times more blacks in Mississippi than there are in the state of Montana. Jackson, Mississippi ranks second in America for percentage of black residents at 80%. The only other city in America with a higher concentration of black Americans is Detroit, where the black population makes up 83% of the total population. There are 10 cities in Mississippi greater than 5,000 residents that are at least 70% black. 2. Louisiana. Moving on, we come to the second blackest state in America, which is Louisiana. In Louisiana, 31.9% of residents are black, which is a 6.53% increase in the last 10 years. There are now 80,000 more black Americans living in Louisiana than a decade ago. Monroe suburb Bastrop and Baton Rouge suburb Baker are both small towns, and have the highest concentration of blacks in Louisiana at 80%. New Orleans is 60% black, the 7th highest black population of large cities in the U.S. New Orleans is considered the birthplace of jazz music. Jambalaya, gumbo and other southern soul foods have their roots in Louisiana, too. 3. Georgia. Let's move on to our next blackest state in the U.S. It's Georgia. Georgia's black population is 31.1%, which is almost 1% higher than it was 10 years ago. In terms of actual numbers, there are 3.1 million African Americans in Georgia, second only to the state of Texas, which has 3.8 million black Americans. Union City, an Atlanta suburb, has the highest black population in Georgia at 86%. Savannah, Georgia is 56% black. Atlanta's black population continues to move into the suburbs. 10 years ago, Atlanta's black population was 61%. Now, it's 54%. 4. Maryland. Where's our next blackest state in America? That's Maryland. The main reason Maryland has a large black population is because of Baltimore. Maryland's total population is 5.2 million. 29.4% of the population in Maryland is black, and 65% of Baltimore's 620,000 residents are black. A quarter of all black residents in Maryland are in Baltimore. Other cities in Maryland with a high black population are District Heights and Glenarden. In District Heights, the black population is 86%. Nearby Washington, D.C.'s black population is 60%. 5. Alabama. Our next blackest state in America is Alabama. In Alabama, 26.4% or more than 1 in 4 residents is black, which is twice as high as the national average. That's a 42% increase in the last 10 years. Tuskegee, a city with 8,500 residents, is 95% black, the highest number of black residents in one city in the state of Alabama. Birmingham is 71% black, and it has the 4th highest black population in America. Nearby Montgomery is 57% black. It has the 9th highest black population in America. 6. South Carolina. Where is our 6th blackest state in America? South Carolina. In South Carolina, 26.3% of the population is black. That's a 5.92% from the black population 10 years ago, meaning South Carolina is one of only 2 states on this list to see a decrease in its black population as a percentage of the state's total population. Marion, South Carolina is the blackest city in the state, at 78%. Columbia, the state's capital, is 40% black. 7. Delaware. Which of American states has the 7th most black Americans? Delaware. In Delaware, 21.5% of residents are black. The black population in Delaware has increased by 14.41% in the last 10 years. Delaware has the 5th lowest population overall of all U.S. states. Wilmington and Dover are the biggest cities in Delaware, and have the largest black populations. Wilmington's black population is 57% and Dover's is 40%. About a third of the total number of blacks in Delaware live in these 2 cities alone. Delaware State University in Dover is a historically black university, where there is a higher than average number of black middle-class residents, Delaware was the first state to join the Union in 1787. It was also considered a border state, but Delaware didn't abolish slavery for good until the 13th Amendment was passed in 1865. 8. North Carolina. We're going to move on to our next blackest state in America. In North Carolina, there are just over 10 million people. More than 2 million are black, giving North Carolina a 21.0% black population. Fayetteville, North Carolina has the largest black population in the state. Fayetteville has 200,000 residents, and 42% are black. Other cities with large populations of black Americans in North Carolina are Kinston, Rocky Mount, and Wilson. Kinston's black population is 65%. Durham, North Carolina is home to what is now called Black Wall Street. This was a financial center formed by several prominent black entrepreneurs. Booker T. Washington spoke many times about how relaxed the race relations were in Durham at the time. 9. Virginia. We're going to remain in the South as we visit our next blackest state in America, Virginia. Here, the percentage of black Americans is 18.7%. What's interesting about Virginia is that the black population is decreasing here. Back in 2010, the black population of Virginia was 19.3%. So that means there are 4% less black Americans in Virginia now. Here in Virginia, Petersburg, Emporia, and Franklin have the largest black populations. Petersburg is 75% black. Virginia Beach is 20% black, and it has the highest number of African Americans in a city in Virginia. 10. Tennessee. In Tennessee, the percentage of black residents is 16.5%. For comparison, the whitest state in America, Montana, the black population is 0.2%. There are also only 2,359 black Americans in the entire state of Montana. In Tennessee, there are 1,118,600 black Americans. That means there are 394 times more African Americans in Tennessee than there are in Montana. Here in Tennessee, the large metro areas such as Memphis make up a large percentage of the black population. In Memphis, more than 2/3 of the population is black. That's the 10th highest ratio of black citizens in America. For comparison, in Detroit, the black population is 82%. Other cities in Tennessee with a majority of blacks include Bolivar, Brownsville, and Whiteville.